Touchdown, Lions.
Big day on this Tullymore Tuesday. Welcome, everybody. X's and Bros, Monday through Friday, 6 until 9. I'm Matt Shepard. Andy McDonald is alongside. We cannot wait. I don't want to rush through shows. I don't like doing that, right? I don't like to rush through life. I can't wait for this next day. I like to live life as it comes, right? But I will tell you at 8:35, pretty juiced up for this. Okay, Jimmy Rolder, Lions linebacker, is going to join us. It's the first installment of a 20-week run in which he will join us every single morning at 8:35. It's going to be awesome.
That's pretty good stuff.
Every Tuesday morning. I said every single morning. Every Tuesday
every
morning.
morning would be unbelievable.
But every Tuesday morning, 8:35, he's going to join us and give us his thoughts on where this team is at and where they're headed and how he's doing too, because he was at practice the other day, so that's good. I can tell you this, and I don't say this because he's coming on. I was speaking with members of the Lions contingency the other day at practice, and they really like him. I mean, they think he's going to be an absolute stud. So obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have drafted him in the fourth round. But the point is, he has not disappointed. It's the injury that's one thing, but he has not disappointed. So super excited for that. Now, based on last night, I thought to myself while I was watching the Tigers and Pirates, and Kevin Brown, who called the game, was on with us last week, if you recall, okay, to preview the Baltimore series. I was thinking to myself, okay, tomorrow morning, let's be positive. They were up 8-1. That's a good thing. Kevin McGonigal went yard with a 2-run shot, his 13th of the year. That's a good thing. Really good at bat by Cole Keith later on in the game to walk. Zach McKinstry had 3 hits. Hao-Yu Lee had 3 hits. Max Clark had 2 hits. Max Clark had a beautiful catch in left center field. The first ball he sees in that ballpark, and they showed some in television, it's called B-roll. They showed some B-roll of him and George Lombard in the outfield, since George Lombard is the bench coach, but also the outfield coach, helping guys get adjusted to the ballpark. And they do that everywhere they go. Okay. It's not unique. I'm not saying ESPN shouldn't have showed it, because they should have. It was great. It was great B-roll. But it is something they do at every ballpark. Every guy goes out there, especially when they're there for the first time, just to get adjusted to different things. There are different sight lines everywhere. Okay? Andy, you and I use this example all the time. You and I play golf. You ever have a blind shot on a golf course you played for the first time? What do you do in your cart? You in your cart, what do you have your friends go up and take a look at it and report back,
because
you won't do that. I mean, it's just too much trouble for you. So your friends immediately do that for you. You're going to go up and you're going to take a look at it, right? That's what baseball players do. They go out there, they're testing everything, the grass, the infield skin, the outfield, the sight lines, and so on and so forth. I've told you about, the third deck. Well, especially in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's high from the center field looking back toward the press box. It's super high. Max Clark had no problem with it. Looked really good doing it. Members of the Pirates didn't, quite honestly, in that game. That's the only good defensive play that I can recall. Now, sometimes making the traditional play, making the routine play is important. Henry Davis had a beautiful throw down to third to get McKinstry, who tried to take off on what would have been called a pass ball, because the ball hit the dirt. It's always a pass ball if the ball hits the dirt, not a wild pitch. Or it's always a wild pitch if the ball hits the dirt, not a pass ball. So that was it. I mean, I saw some defense that was just awful last night. And Kevin Brown, as the announcer, said the same thing. These two teams are not very good defensively. Detroit is getting better defensively with Clark in center field. They will have to shore up their second base shortstop combination. Max Clark's a -2 defensive run saved already. I don't know if you know that. It's pretty damn good. That's impressive. It really is. Okay. He's a +2 outs above average. He's a +2 defensive run saves. That catchable ball in left center field was really impressive. There's only, according to a Tigers numbers data, there's only one ball he should have gotten to this year that he did not get to. All right. So the outfield play has been really good from Max Clark. It's not very good in right field. It's very solid in left when Riley Green is out there. So, I still worry about the left side of their infield, quite honestly. And catching is fantastic. Defense is so vital. That's the thing that I left. And then, of course, that I left the game with. And then, of course, 8-1, and you end up winning 8-5. I'll take the win. You'll take the win any way you can get it. All right? It's a Journey song. Any way you get. But the point is, not that you got to lock down everything when you're up 8-1. And it's not up to them to make sure you and I are comfortable. But boy, oh boy, I mean, Framber Valdez. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened to him.
It's crazy.
I got to be honest with you, Andy. I'm starting to write about Valdez, and I'm thinking, okay, this is the game you need to have for him if you want to go deep into the postseason. Here's a guy who only allowed 1 walk, 2 hits, and both of them from Brandon Lau, lefty, both soft contact. And I'm thinking, okay. And then as soon as I start to write that, Valdez just explodes.
The classic Control-Alt-Delete.
Yeah. He gives up 4 walks. He gives up 5 runs. He gives up 5 hits. This is not who he is. He has a walk rate per 9 at 3.5. That's the highest. It's the second highest it's been, I believe, in his career. It's the highest it's been in 5 years. He seems to fall apart.
Yeah, and it's like you can't ask that guy to go deep into games this year. It's just not possible. It seems like every time that he gets to that part of the game, it's not going to work out for him.
Exactly right. And we've complained about the defense, or I mean the bullpen.
Yep.
But the bullpen wasn't the problem last night.
No, they did their job. I mean, in the 7th inning, Javi Baez started out with that one right under his glove, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh my gosh, it's the last thing Kyle Finnegan needs out there right now."
But he got able to get out of it, which I loved.
Yep,
you know what
exactly,
I mean?
Yeah.
But good for him.
They got through
it. A lot of times when a pitcher's going poorly, something like that, you stop for a moment. You say, "Here we go again." You start singing David Coverdale as Whitesnake. Here we go again. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and he was able to get through that, which I love.
Yeah, it was great. Their bullpen did the job. Summers got fired up, and
Summers was really good.
That might have been Kenley's best inning I've seen as a Tiger so far. So they looked
8 pitches, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, in 1 inning. You're damn right. That's pretty damn good. Our phone number, by the way, 866-838-4843. You could text the program, Sports Radio 21,000. Baltimore lost in Tampa. The Rangers were idle. The Tigers are tied for the final wild card. They're 4.5 back because Chicago lost a 10-inning affair to the Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong, by the way, had a leadoff homer and a walk-off homer.
Guy's unbelievable.
He's had an incredible. Has he not had an incredible year?
Yeah.
He's the National League MVP, right?
I think so. I don't think there's any question about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Shohei Ohtani was pretty damn good last night for the Dodgers. Anytime you bring up the National League MVP, you have to start with Ohtani, I would guess. He went 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 home runs.
Just another guy at the park.
Yeah, I know. But Pete Crow Armstrong has been so steady, and he does it defensively too, by the way. He's a Gold Glove defender. We got to take a quick time out. We're brought to you this hour by Mitch Lyons Wealth. We got the Mitch Lyons Wealth poll question and a whole lot more. Just getting rolling here on a Tullymore Tuesday with Jimmy Rolder, Lions linebacker. Joining us 8:35 on X's and Bros.
You can't get enough Lions talk. X's and Bros gets that and wants to deliver.
Touchdown Detroit Lions! That's what I'm talking about!
Every Tuesday at 8:35, we talk with Lions linebacker Jimmy Rolder.
There's a trouble and dumps. Jimmy Rolder had the fumble recovery on the first possession. A sack here.
What's the mood of the team? What's the challenge with the next opponent? And what's his rookie year taught him?
Interception! This time it's Jimmy Rolder!
Lions linebacker Jimmy Rolder. Every Tuesday morning on X's and Bros, brought to you by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Huge here for all the ABC warehouse locations in Michigan. Now, if you're looking for the best prices on TVs, furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more, you need to go to abcwarehouse.com. You can shop there and also shop in person at all ABC Warehouse locations across Michigan. For the one close to you, go to abcwarehouse.com. Best deals on TVs, appliances, furniture, and mattresses at all ABC Warehouse locations in Michigan.
You know, we're fortunate here in Michigan. We have some of the greatest golf courses in the country. Tullymore and St. Ives is part of the reason we can brag the way we do about our golf. Once you visit Tullymore, you'll keep coming back. The view is breathtaking. The golf is fantastic. The accommodations are regal, and the people are special. It really does feel like a home away from home at Tullymore. Make your play and stay reservations today by going to tullymoregolf.com or by calling 1-800-972-4837. That's 1-800-972-4837.
Coming up later today at 3 on The Huge Show on the Michigan Sports Network, I'll deliver huge opinions on everything you're talking about.
think it's, we didn't give up on ourselves, and I feel like, a lot of people have, gave up on us, and, I think that just pushed us to get better each day. And, losing school was, a big deal for us, but, that doesn't change the fact that we go to work every day and play hard and, play as a team, and I think we're doing a really good job at that, and I think that's what's keeping us in the swing of things.
He's right. Kevin McGonigal, 2 for 6 last night, but also hit his 13th home run of the season. It was a 2-run job, and Detroit won by 3 in an 8-5 final. Welcome back, X's and BrO's, Monday through Friday. He's been so good in a lot of different ways. Sure, he's gonna make some errors, and he has, but overall, you got to feel good when he's in the lineup every single day. You got to feel good with the at-bats that he gives you every single day. And you get to feel good with I would argue, most at-bats just every single night. No one is going into that batter's box being perfect. They're going to get fooled sometimes because the guy on the mound drives a Porsche too. Okay. But they're pretty damn good. I would guess most Tiger fans feel pretty strongly about the players that they have to build around. McGonigal, Clark, who, again, I'll reiterate, not to pat ourselves on the back here on X's and BrO's, but we told you for a long time, he's a really good player. You're going to really like him. Don't get caught up in the chains. Don't get caught up, in people complaining about him in one preseason inning and judging him. It's amazing how quickly people will judge. He's a really good player. He roams center field. It's his. It's his now. All right. What's going to keep him in the show? His hitting. And I don't know how you can't love how he goes the other way.
No,
I tweeted it last night. Yeah. He hits the ball where it's pitched. He goes the other way. He sacrifices whatever you want.
He works a lot of counts too, man. He sees the zone pretty well.
Oh, man. I tweeted that out the other day. I mean, I don't care. He had the 12 pitch at bat. We talked about it. I don't care how it ended.
Exactly.
He made the guy work.
Made him work. Yep.
And the reason I don't, the reason I don't care. Yeah, good job. The reason I don't care how it ended is because I also understand you're not going to be successful in baseball, but 30% of the time if you're lucky. I don't subscribe to the, if you're 30%, if you're lucky, fortunate 30% of the time in baseball, you're a Hall of Famer. No, you're not, because Don Mattingly, he's got a lifetime average of over 300. He's not a Hall of Famer. But you understand my point. He works the count that helps the next batter, and the batter after that, and the batter after that. I will say this. This is nitpicky. Watching him in the dugout look on an iPad about a pitcher who's already out on the mound makes no sense to me. Absolutely no sense. While I was calling Tigers baseball, A.J. Hinch used to say that all the time. He said, look, you can go to the iPad all you want. He said, but he would tell players, the guy's right there.
Yeah, watch it live in front of you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot easier, right? The something that it's more than concerning for me, but it's probably not. It's not too surprising, and that's Cole Keith. Now, I like his bat. I'm not going to be fooled to think he's ever going to have a lot of power. All right, I think he can hit 20 home runs, but I don't think he's a guy who's going to end up hitting just 30, 35, 40 home runs for you. It's just, I just don't think that's who he is. But I do like his at-bats too. Haven't impressed me as much as McGonigal or Clark, but I don't mind Cole Keith in the lineup offensively. Defensively, he scares the living daylights out of me.
Yeah, it's not great. First base is did not
every time the ball is hit and if he's playing first base, if the ball is not right at his chest, it scares the hell out of me, man.
It's true.
And I don't know what you're going to do with him.
No, it's like that. I really don't. Like the same kind of like when the bullpen comes in, you feel like they're going to blow it. It's like when the ball goes to Cole Keith, I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. Usually is the thought.
Yes, all that. And I tweeted it out last night, and I gave him credit. I said really good at bat by Keith. Didn't let the non-challenge bother him. The Tigers saw well over at that point anyway 120 pitches, which is that's a slew of pitches. If you look at the Pittsburgh pitching staff, they threw 179 pitches. 179.
Pretty good stuff there.
Yeah. Detroit threw 150. Detroit staff, which may not seem like a big discrepancy, but that's a full inning.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's an extra 30, basically almost 29, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a full inning. 179 to 50. 29 pitches. That's really more than it's. If your perfect inning, not perfect, but your ideal inning, you're throwing 14 pitches or fewer.
Right.
That's really 2 innings. You force them to go, and that tells you that this team is doing a much better job of working counts. They only had 8 strikeouts. They were working count and 7 walks. Working counts, and seeing a lot of different pitches. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot, excuse me, but it's a lot when you are out there and you're seeing guys throw their arsenal, 3, 4 pitches, whatever. You might pick something up. Might pick up a tendency of a glove. You just never know. So kudos to them in that regard. I know it wasn't fully comfortable for you, but you'll take it. Game 2 is tonight. Keeter Montero throwing against Braxton Ashcroft. Michigan State has hired former Western Michigan AD Dan Bartholomew. It's a good hire. Knows what he's doing. Knows how to fundraise. That's. I know how people feel about the athletic director job because you're thinking back in the Don Canham days at Michigan. It's not how it is. You got to raise a lot of money. I know you want to hire coaches, and you think that's the deal. It's part of the deal. The biggest part of your deal is hiring the right people underneath you to go fundraise. That's what you got to do. Dan Campbell says he will play a significant number of starters in preseason game number 2. The Bears are expected to sign Marcus Davenport. Yes, the same Marcus Davenport who was constantly injured for the Lions. I wonder how many people will then wonder if Ben Johnson's a magician or the smartest guy in the room.
People probably feel like Ben Johnson just did it to get into the Lions fans' skin, just in case.
Well, I don't even. Yeah, I don't even know if it's. I don't know why that would be, but I don't know if he would. He's not making that call.
Yeah, no.
Right?
No,
he's got to be consulted.
I don't think that's the reason. I'm just saying that's
Ben Johnson's going to get consulted, right? But overall,
if he turns out to be a good player for them, the Lions fans will be extremely annoyed because of how last year started. Yeah.
Then people will know he's got the magic touch, right? That's crazy. Colts, in the meantime, have inked Keenan Allen to a 1-year, $8.3 million deal. Here's the Mitch Lyons Wealth poll question. We have them for you every single day, and already Andy has tweeted it out, and I have as well. What's a deeper concern for the Lions? Cornerback, safety, or center? Cornerback, safety, or center. Vote as often as you want at XB Mornings. The results come your way tomorrow. Jimmy Rolder joins us, the Lions linebacker, at 8:35. When we come back, there's quite an indictment on one of the teams in Detroit. Did not see this coming. And I'm not sure how many of you did. There are fan favorites, right? On just about every team. Don't tell me you aren't with your buddies and they're like, yeah, I love Kevin McGonigal. Of course he's a fan favorite. First of all, he's really good.
Yeah, there's
second of all, for it. Yes. Second of all, he handles his business the right way. Some guys you can like for their, Jake Rogers, their mustache. Other guys you like because they're really flipping good, right? McGonigal's because you're really good. This guy I'm referring to when we come back was more about his toughness and supposedly his passion for the city. Maybe the passion for the organization is lost. We'll explain when we come back on X's and Bros on a Tullymore Tuesday. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Mitch Lyons Wealth.
Put your faves on repeat with new Meyer Subscribe. It's easy to add subscriptions with your Meyer home delivery or pickup order. From fridge and pantry to pets and paper towels, big, small, or in between. Subscribe to Purina, Pampers, and all your favorite brands. We'll shop as often as you like when you like. Just press set up a subscription while shopping and choose a frequency. We'll take care of the rest. New Meyer Subscribe keeps you supplied with what you need when you need it. Download the Meyer app to start a subscription with your home delivery or pickup order today.
September 11th at Soaring Eagle, a hot night of soul.
Somebody sexy, tell them hey.
Three-time Grammy winner Neo and the princess of hip-hop, Keisha Cole. Tickets start at $53 and are on sale now at the Soaring Eagle box office or etix.com. Music that takes you there. Neo and Keisha, September 11th, part of the Soaring Eagle Summer Outdoor Concert Series.
Huge cheer for my good friend Josh Garvey and the team at Dorn Mayhew, West Michigan, one of the world's top accounting, CPA, and business firms. Their worldwide headquarters are in Troy, Michigan, on the east side of the state. And Josh and his team connect with all the sports fans and businesses across Michigan. They bring you John Beeline on the Huge Show. They bring you Lomas Brown during the Lion season. They are a top shelf team when it comes to growth and understanding what their clients need. And mix in when we do the Beat Huge contest or the NCAA March Madness brackets. Thank you, Josh Garvey, for what you do for the Huge Show and the Michigan Sports Network. Simple and easy. Just find Dorn Mayhew on all the social networks or just Google Dorn Mayhew and find out how they can help your business. And again, a special thanks to Josh Garvey and the Dorn Mayhew team in West Michigan. What's up, Michigan? You're listening to Shep. Don't forget the Huge Show later today at 3 on the Michigan Sports Network.
I mean, that's who I am. I don't gotta fake it. I'm cut from that cloth, and everybody that knows me, know that's just who I am. I don't feel that way because it's just who I am, and I enjoy carrying the identity for this team, and that's what I was drafted here for. To see the hear JB say that, and to see it come to light, and it's just great.
So he is, which is pretty apparent. That's Isaiah Stewart from earlier this year. He was on a podcast recently, and welcome back, X's and Bros, Monday through Friday, 6 until 9. Little anti-ghost coming back for you. It's a Tullymore Tuesday, brought to you by Mitch Lyons Wealth. Jimmy Roller joins us 8:35. The Lions linebacker will join us, brought to you by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort, every Tuesday at 8:35. So set your watch for that. If you listen to anything on this show, that's when you want to tune in. So he'll give us some really good perspective. Jamison Williams with a shoulder injury yesterday was held out. Dan Campbell's not super bothered by it. We'll get into some line stuff here in a moment. But I thought this was important. We gravitate toward athletes for a lot of different reasons. Okay. They may not always be the best, or they may not always be the most vocal. They may not always do the most commercials. They may not always give the best sound bites. I'm as guilty as anybody. I like Frank Ragnow. During his 7 years, he was one of my favorite players. And I used to have friends like, what? They thought for sure, you would gravitate toward a quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver. You have your reasons. That's fine. It's no different than life, okay? People liked Isaiah Stewart. Why? Isaiah Stewart was the tough guy, and we associate toughness with our town and our state, and that's fine, because I don't necessarily disagree with that. I mean, he's not Bob Probert, he's not Joey Koser, he's not Darren McCarty, he's not Ben Wallace, but he served a purpose. He's a good player. Not a great player, but he's a good player. He's not a max player or anything like that. You need players like that on your team. But they also loved that, when he would walk off the floor or he would go and punch Miles Bridges in Charlotte, he would do the look, I'm with Detroit, and pull that out and tell everybody who wants to know this is what it's all about. It's about representing the city. People absolutely loved it. Isaiah Stewart was on a recent podcast, on an ESPN podcast, and they were asking him about the past year, what he's looking forward to in Memphis, getting traded, and how much of a surprise, and so on and so forth. Here's the quote that he had. He said, that series didn't go good. Let's not judge him on the English, okay? He played, it was against Cleveland. The series didn't go good. I didn't play as much. I just knew it was my last game as a Piston, which is interesting. Because so many people thought this is a guy who might be a Detroiter forever. And he seems, by the way, like a really cool dude. All right? Good family man. Seems like a really good husband, good dad. I mean, he's the guy I think you want to root for. I think how he is off the floor, how he is on the floor are two different people, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah,
that's fine. You see that in athletes all the time. So what? The last game he played as a Piston against Cleveland, he only played 6 minutes. He only took one shot. He only grabbed one rebound. And it just didn't seem like him. And I remember we were taking texts, we were taking phone calls. People really surprised at that, disappointed at that, as much as the production as the time, because it was one of those things where Jalen Durham wasn't giving you what you wanted. So people thought Isaiah Stewart should have been the guy. And then there are other people who thought, excuse me, Paul Reed should be the guy. Whatever. Anyway, he has said, and then he goes on to say this, I would say this past season, this is Isaiah Stewart now on the podcast, I was in a situation where you would work so hard and you would have a goal and you're putting all your all into something and you're not able to recap that kind of reward. made you question yourself, stress yourself out because you know the passion, the love you have for the game. That's when me and my wife were just talking, and we both felt like this might be our last season here in Detroit. So couldn't have been too surprised, right? I'd rather be where I'm wanted than headed back into a situation where it's not the best. Now, doesn't that make you pause for just a moment? What's the thing about the Pistons we have applauded from afar for a long time? The togetherness, right?
That's been like the key. It feels
stop me if it's an inappropriate word. The togetherness, unselfishness, camaraderie, don't care who gets the headlines.
No, that's what people said they were building this team, and that's what people were obsessed with talking about when it came to the Pistons. Yeah.
Literally went from, at one point a year ago, 23 minutes a year, to a guy who played just 12 minutes a game in the playoffs. And it's not a small sample size. You're talking about 14 playoff games. Okay. 4 points, 2.5 boards. Remember, he had, 8 blocks, Andy, in game 4 against Orlando?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. 8 blocks.
I remember that game.
What could have gone wrong? And again, I'm not the guy who believes he's a starting center in the league for a really good team. Guy averages 10 points, 5 boards a game. For the most part, is reliable. I think some of the antics were a little bit too much and ridiculous. The 7-game suspension for the punching of Miles Bridges was egregious and just irresponsible, unprofessional. I get sticking up for your teammates, but coming off the bench and doing that, you're just not being smart. However, and there's an article, I think it was in the Free Press yesterday, that talked about his genuine love for the city and took pride in bringing the identity and the toughness and the winning back to the Pistons. I love the winning, the toughness. You don't always have to tell me you're tough. You got to show me you're tough. His play was tough.
100%. Yeah.
I didn't need him always to fight, and I didn't always need him to, stick his chest out and grab his jersey.
Yeah, I guess to a certain point where you need him to play too. So.
Exactly. And that's who he is. That's fine. Okay. I don't want everybody to conform. I don't want everybody to be the same. It's ridiculous to do that. He played a certain role. He was good at playing his role. I'm trying to figure out what happened and why he lost faith. I almost said favor. Why he lost his spot of numerous minutes, I suppose.
I think that's
what could have happened.
Maybe, you would have to think it's something between him and JB probably, or something with that. Maybe there was something going on where he wouldn't play him more, because any player that, it could have been Paul Reed too, that could have had an argument about wanting more minutes because of the way Jalen Duren was playing in the playoffs. That's why I'm not saying Isaiah Stewart was putting up numbers, to stand out, but anyone can make the argument they were playing harder than him, because Jalen Duren wasn't putting up good numbers either. So to lose a bunch of minutes,
in the playoffs he wasn't.
In the playoffs, that's what I'm saying. So that's what we're talking about, right? He lost minutes in the playoffs. So
that's right.
Yeah. So that's where I'm saying I think that in that situation, the fact that he was losing so many minutes maybe behind somebody that wasn't really being any more effective than him, maybe that was why.
But. So I look back a little bit, and we all recall the Charlotte incident. I just reminded you of it. Prior to that, he had started 2 games in a row. He had played 29 minutes, I'm rounding up, and 21 minutes, I'm rounding down. Okay. Then he gets the suspension, and he's not with the team. When he comes back, it's not like it was punishable. Played 22, played 29 and a half, played 20, 22, 22, 20, 20, and then after Memphis, boom, inactive. Okay. I think it was the injury, right? He had an injury there for a long time. When he came back from the injury, 10 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes. And then the playoffs, never played in any of the 14 playoff games, never played more than 19 minutes. And that was the very first one. this is all speculative, right? Maybe talk to him a little bit. We need you to play a different role. It's great your toughness, but we need you on the floor. Met with some hesitancy, or maybe it's just the injury type thing.
Whatever it was, he probably felt like he put in a lot of time in the regular season to get more minutes, and then just saw it go away at the most important part.
But that's why I gave you the minutes played after he was inactive because of the injury. And bear with me, I forget exactly which injury that was, because he missed games from, let's see,
end of the season,
March
right?
17th through April 6th, and then he played the final three. As I mentioned, played the final three of 10 minutes, 16 minutes, and 17 minutes. So are they feeling like this is a guy who oftentimes is a little bit too emotional, but is also a guy who is not reliable because of injury?
Well, maybe they also felt like in the playoffs they needed more scoring too, and Paul Reed was definitely doing some of that. So, I mean, that could have taken away from his time as well.
I suppose. The weird thing about the injury situation is that a year ago he played 72 games, Andy. He has played how many games are enough, right? You got to play 65 to get at least considered for postseason awards. If that's the case, not that he would be up for it, but 3 of the 6 years he's played 65 or more. He's played 68, he's played 71, he's played 72. The other 3 years, he's been injured. He played 50, he's played 46, and last year he played 58. Reliability, right? If you're going to be healthy, we need you to be available. If you're going to sit there and spout off and you're going to get in trouble on the floor and get technicals that hurt us, and then eventually you're going to get suspended, that's just as bad as an injury because we're still missing you. 7-game suspension. Has to be something associated with that. Falling out of disfavor. Now, the other thing, of course, is not following the proper directions. I mean, when JB Bickerstaff is telling guys to do something specifically, Asar Thompson, and then they're not doing it, and they're going to bench him because there's a little bit of a rift there between the two. Or Ron Holland. Hey, I told you this is where I want you. You're not going to do it. You're going to sit for a while, leaving everybody to speculate a little bit. Let me get to some texts. Sports Radio 21,000. Feel free. Let's see here. Shep Trajan will rule the day. He kept Duran over Stewart. But as we see now, no one wants Duran. Well, they didn't want him for the money. That's for damn sure. And I would agree with that. Let me ask you, is giving up multiple second round picks for the other guy, is that something that makes you say, yeah, people want him for multiple second round guys? I don't know. I will say this.
I don't know either.
I mean, it's not like they gave up premium for him.
No.
All right. I am going to. Isaiah Stewart's going to go to Memphis. I will watch him from afar. I sure won't root for him against Detroit, but I hope he does well. I really do. Shep, we love the honesty of Dan Campbell, but him saying